Hi, good morning. I'm gonna perform a BiPAP initiation. So first and foremost, we should check the patient's chart. Make sure we got the physician's order, what setting they would like to put on the patient. Make sure we also check the patient's information, what their diagnosis, especially if it meets the indications of the BiPAP initiation. Once we're about to go inside, make sure we have all the supplies that we need to bring. Wash our hands, sanitize it, and then once inside, wear appropriate PPE such as gloves, mask, and then we should also explain to the patient, introduce ourselves. Make sure we also have to check the patient's ID band if they're the correct patient. Then after that, we also have to explain it to them. What are we going to do? Let them understand, and then explain to them how they should be able to breathe. After that, we should also try to obtain vital signs, listen to their breath sounds. Make sure we also try to check on the monitor if what's their SpO2 and their heart rate. And then also try to take note the patient's breathing pattern, if how they are breathing at. And also if all things you're able to do those, reposition the patient. If they're able to sit upright, that will be very better. If not, we can try to assist them and make sure we assist their head of bed elevated quite a bit. So with this, we should also have at least different sizes with us when hooking with a BiPAP. So that way we already have to not to keep running back and forth to the department. So when checking the size of the mask, make sure we have that adjustment measurement, kind of a ruler where we have to check what's the width, how big the nose the patient is, or how big or thick the patient's face is, so that way we can determine what's the appropriate size of the patient. So for example, if we put it on a nasal mask, so make sure the nasal mask should be like this, should not the below should not reach on the lips, should be above on the lips. And then when hooking it up, make sure it's not too tight to the patient between those nasal CPAP or either a full face mask. And then there's a velcro on this, or a strap, where we gonna put it on the back, and also those two straps should be put on the top here on the head part, and then the other one should be here by within the neck. So with the head part, also make sure we should not hit the patient's ears because it might lead to any pressure source, same as what we're gonna put it on the patient's mask. It should not be too tight, so there should be an acceptable leak with it because we prevent a patient from having pressure source. So moving on, we have here the machine. So this one is a BiPAP focus. So first we should always plug it up. So as we can see, it's turned on AC power. So turn it on. So it will take for a few seconds, and then there's a slight noise on it. So with this machine, there's no any calibration, and then we should also have a setup with this a corrugated tubing with a bacterial filter. Most of the time, these are being put all together in a plastic bag, and then it is only intended for BiPAP use. We should not put any tubings that is not any intended for BiPAP use only. So also there's this transparent tubing. This one is a pressure monitoring port where the machine would try to check what the appropriate pressure the patient is at. So after that, as we can see, we have here the mode. So when checking the mode, we should take note what mode the patient is by having this shaded thing. So if we want to change it up, press enter and then move or scroll up or down if we want to change the settings, and then press enter. So also after that, we have to try to check what's the appropriate pressure or settings the patient should have by looking at the patient chart, and also based on what our observations is, such as the rise, the ramp, the I time, the IPAP and EPAP. And also if you want to change it up, press enter, and then we can try to scroll the up and down, and then after that press enter. If all these settings meet the criteria for the patient, so once you want to put this to the patient, make sure we press activate. If you're not able to press activate, we're not able to have these settings to the patient. And then as we can see here in the side, this one is the patient data or the monitoring, where we can sense once being put up on the patient what's the number of leak, what's the apnea, what's the estimated rate, and also tidal volume. And also we have here in the small box is what we're gonna put up, what's the alarm, such as disconnection or even a low pressure alarm for leaks. So once there's alarm, we can hear an audible sound. So all we have to do is